Imagine this. You've just sat down for breakfast. A plate of eggs, maybe some toast, and a side of your favorite food. Seems harmless, right? But what if I told you that pairing eggs with certain foods can quietly harm your health, especially after 60? Eggs are often called nature's multivitamin. They're packed with protein, healthy fats, and important nutrients like choline that support brain and eye health. For seniors, eggs can be one of the most affordable and convenient sources of nutrition. But here's the hidden truth. When eggs are combined with the wrong foods, they can trigger digestive problems, raise cholesterol risks, or even interfere with how your body absorbs nutrients. And over time, these combinations may increase risks for heart disease, kidney strain, and even blood sugar spikes. That's why in today's video, we'll uncover the 3 food combinations you should never eat with eggs after 60. Each one may surprise you, and the third one is something many seniors eat almost every day without realizing the danger. Stay with me until the end because I'll also share smart and safe food pairings that make eggs healthier, not harmful. Why egg combinations can be dangerous after 60. Now, let's pause for a moment and think about this. Eggs by themselves are not the enemy. In fact, they can be a very healthy part of your diet, providing protein, vitamin D, B12, and choline, which supports brain function. But here's the truth most people overlook. It's not just about what you eat, it's about what you eat together. After the age of 60, our digestion slows down, metabolism changes, and our bodies process food differently. Combinations that may have been harmless at 30 or 40 can suddenly start causing bloating, indigestion, high cholesterol spikes, or even long-term health risks. Think about it like this. Imagine you have a clean, well-oiled machine. If you pour the wrong mixture of fuel into it, the engine struggles, produces more smoke, and breaks down faster. That's exactly what happens inside your body when you mix the wrong foods with eggs. For seniors, these hidden food clashes can trigger sluggish digestion, leading to gas, heaviness, or discomfort after meals. Nutrient blocking. Certain combinations actually stop your body from absorbing the good stuff in eggs. Cholesterol overload. Some mixes push your heart and arteries into dangerous territory. Increased inflammation, which is linked to joint pain, brain fog, and even faster aging. And here's the shocking part. Many people over 60 eat these wrong combinations every single day without realizing the damage being done. So, if you're in the habit of eating eggs with these 3 specific foods, it's time to rethink your plate. In the next parts, we'll break down each of these dangerous combos, one by one, and explain why they could be silently harming your health. Because remember, food is medicine, but the wrong combinations can turn that medicine into poison. The first hidden danger: eggs with processed meats. Now let's talk about the first dangerous combination that many seniors unknowingly eat every day. Eggs with processed meats like bacon, sausage, or ham. This is one of the most common breakfast pairings around the world. For decades, advertisements and restaurants have shown bacon and eggs, or ham and eggs, as the classic breakfast. But here's the hidden danger, especially if you are over 60. Processed meats such as bacon and sausage are packed with sodium, preservatives, nitrates, and unhealthy saturated fats. When you combine these with eggs, which are already rich in cholesterol, you create a meal that is especially heavy on your heart and blood vessels. Let's break it down. High sodium load. A single serving of bacon can add over 400 milligrams of sodium to your plate. Combine that with eggs, and your breakfast could easily push your daily sodium intake to unsafe levels. Too much sodium makes your body retain water, raising blood pressure and straining the kidneys. For seniors, this can increase the risk of hypertension, stroke, and kidney disease. Cholesterol and fat. Eggs, especially the yolk, naturally contain cholesterol. While moderate egg consumption can be safe, pairing them with fatty, greasy processed meats doubles the load of unhealthy fats. Over time, this raises the risk of clogged arteries, heart attacks, and poor circulation. Nitrates and preservatives. Processed meats are cured with nitrates to improve flavor and shelf life. But studies show that when nitrates combine with proteins from eggs and meat, they can form nitrosamines, harmful compounds linked to cancer development. This doesn't mean you need to stop enjoying eggs altogether. Eggs themselves can be a great source of protein, vitamins, and healthy fats. The problem begins when we combine them with processed meats. So what should you do instead? If you love having eggs for breakfast, try pairing them with vegetables, whole grain toast, or avocado. These options balance the meal with fiber and healthy fats, helping stabilize blood sugar and keeping your heart healthier. The second dangerous combination: eggs and red meat. Now, let's move on to the second food combination that seniors over 60 should avoid with eggs. Eggs and red meat together. At first glance, this pairing might seem like the ultimate protein power breakfast. Think of a classic plate with scrambled eggs, sausages, or a juicy steak with a side of fried eggs. It looks filling, it feels hearty, and it's been marketed as a symbol of energy and strength for decades. But here's where the hidden danger lies. Both eggs and red meat are already high in saturated fat and cholesterol. When combined, they create a double burden on your heart and blood vessels. For seniors, especially those over 60, this combination can accelerate plaque buildup in the arteries. That means higher risk of atherosclerosis, heart attacks, and strokes. Let's break it down more simply. Egg yolks contain cholesterol, which in moderation isn't harmful for everyone. Red meat, like beef, lamb, or pork, contains both cholesterol and saturated fat. When eaten together, your body struggles to process this heavy load. Instead of using it as energy, it ends up being stored or contributing to artery clogging deposits. Doctors have noticed that seniors who regularly combine eggs with red meat often report feeling sluggish afterward. That food coma effect isn't just about feeling full, it's your body's way of saying, "This was too much for me to handle at once." There's also the issue of inflammation. Animal proteins and fats, when combined in large amounts, can raise inflammatory markers in the body. For older adults, chronic inflammation contributes not only to heart disease but also to joint pain, reduced mobility, and even cognitive decline. Now, does this mean you should never enjoy a small serving of eggs or an occasional piece of red meat? Not at all. The problem is when they're paired together frequently, especially in heavy portions. For example, a double cheeseburger with a fried egg on top. A breakfast plate with 3 eggs, bacon, and sausage. Steak and eggs as a weekend indulgence. These may sound delicious, but for someone over 60, this combo can quietly chip away at your long-term health. So what's the better approach? If you love eggs, pair them with fiber-rich foods like spinach, mushrooms, or avocado. If you want red meat, keep it lean and don't add eggs on top of it in the same meal. Spacing these foods out gives your body the time it needs to process them without overwhelming your system. In short, eggs and red meat together equal a heart hazard for seniors. Separately, in moderation, they can be part of your diet. But together, they're a recipe for hidden danger. The third hidden danger: eggs with sugary foods. Now, let's move to the third food combination that seniors over 60 should never pair with eggs: sugary foods and desserts. This one may surprise many people because at first glance, eggs and sweets don't seem harmful together. After all, many baked goods, cakes, muffins, pancakes, include eggs as a main ingredient. So what makes this pairing risky when eaten directly together at breakfast or in large amounts? The problem lies in how sugar and eggs affect blood glucose and cholesterol metabolism differently. Eggs are rich in protein and fat, while sugar causes a sharp spike in blood glucose. When consumed at the same time, this forces your pancreas to release a large amount of insulin to control the sugar surge. Meanwhile, the fat in eggs slows digestion, keeping sugar in your bloodstream for longer than usual. This combination can trigger prolonged blood sugar spikes, dangerous for anyone with prediabetes or diabetes, which is very common after 60. Increased risk of insulin resistance, leading to belly fat, fatigue, and difficulty losing weight. Elevated triglycerides, which worsen heart health and raise the risk of clogged arteries. Think of it this way: Eating eggs with sugary pastries is like pressing the accelerator and brake at the same time in your car. Your body doesn't know how to handle both signals, and over time this wears out your metabolic system. One senior patient I worked with shared that she always enjoyed eggs with jam-slathered toast in the morning. She thought it was harmless. But after a few years, she began noticing constant mid-morning fatigue, weight gain around her waist, and eventually her doctor diagnosed her with type 2 diabetes. Once she swapped jam for avocado or vegetables, her energy and blood sugar levels improved dramatically. So if you're someone who likes to eat eggs with sweet foods like pancakes with syrup, donuts, or sugary bread, this is the combination you should rethink. Instead of pairing eggs with sugar-loaded items, try healthier options such as eggs with sautéed spinach, mushrooms, or tomatoes. Eggs with a small portion of oats and berries, which provide fiber to stabilize blood sugar. Or simply eggs with avocado and whole grain toast, which give long-lasting energy without spikes. Remember, the danger isn't in eggs themselves, it's in the company they keep on your plate. The fourth hidden danger: sausages and processed meats. Now let's talk about another food that many seniors enjoy alongside their morning eggs: sausages and processed meats. Whether it's breakfast sausages, bacon strips, or even hot dogs later in the day, these items often feel like the perfect match with eggs. But here's the truth: for men and women over 60, this pairing can quietly work against your health. Why is that? Sausages and processed meats are usually loaded with saturated fats, cholesterol, and sodium. When combined with eggs, which already contain cholesterol, this creates what I call a double burden on your heart and blood vessels. Over time, this can contribute to artery stiffness and blockage, raising your risk of heart attack or stroke. Increased blood pressure from all the added salt. Digestive issues. Processed meats are harder to digest for aging stomachs. And for men, these foods have even been linked to prostate health problems. Another hidden risk comes from the preservatives and nitrates used in processed meats. Studies show that these chemicals can cause inflammation and even raise the risk of certain cancers when consumed regularly. Now, I'm not saying you can never enjoy a sausage again, but eating them daily, especially with eggs, is a recipe for long-term harm. What to do instead? If you crave something savory with your eggs, try sautéed mushrooms, tomatoes, or even a side of avocado. For protein, consider grilled chicken breast or a small portion of beans, much cleaner sources of energy. This simple swap can protect your heart, ease the strain on your kidneys, and give you a breakfast that truly fuels your body instead of draining it. Now that we've covered the foods you should never mix with eggs, plus the extra one for those who stuck around, let's bring it all together. Eggs, when eaten the right way, can be one of the healthiest foods for seniors. They're packed with protein, vitamin D, B12, choline, and healthy fats that support brain, muscle, and bone health. But as we've learned, it's the combinations that can quietly undo these benefits and even put stress on your body. Here are some practical takeaways for seniors over 60. Pair wisely. Eggs go best with vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. Think of a veggie omelet with spinach and mushrooms or boiled eggs with whole grain toast. Avoid risky mixes. Stay away from sugary cereals, processed meats, and dairy overload when eating eggs. These combos can harm the heart, digestion, and blood sugar balance. Mind portion sizes. 2 eggs a day is usually safe for most seniors, but always follow your doctor's advice if you have cholesterol, diabetes, or kidney issues. Hydrate. Eggs digest best when your body has enough water, so keep sipping throughout the day. Check your energy levels. If you notice you feel sluggish or bloated after breakfast, it may be a sign that your food combinations aren't working well for you. Eggs can remain a healthy part of your diet, as long as you don't mix them with the wrong foods. Small changes at the breakfast table can protect your energy, your heart, and your longevity. If this video was helpful, don't forget to share it with your loved ones. For seniors, even one smart dietary swap can make the difference between feeling drained and feeling energized. So, dear seniors, remember, your health is truly in your hands. Avoiding these hidden food combinations with eggs may seem like a small step, but it can make a big difference for your heart, digestion, and overall well-being. The best part? You don't have to wait until tomorrow. Start today. Make one small, positive change in your meals, and you'll already be moving toward a healthier, more energized life after 60. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with friends or family who could benefit, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Urologist USA Today, for more trusted health tips tailored to seniors. I'd also love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell me, which of these food combinations surprised you the most? Stay strong, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.